I honor this moment as sacred. I am here to listen, create, and reconnect to the wisdom that already lives within me. Vulnerability to me has always felt like a weakness, but in fact, it's actually really strong. It requires immense courage from the individual or myself to open up and share my truest parts of me. This painting captures the essence of vulnerability for me. It's raw, it's unfiltered. What does vulnerability mean to you? How do you feel when you think about being vulnerable in front of others? Letting all the thoughts of judgment go. One of the biggest obstacles to vulnerability is that fear of judgment. I often worry about how others will perceive me, and this fear really can be paralyzing. This painting kind of adds those layers of emotions that I've been hiding from the world. It's below the surface. There's a lot going on. Was there a time that you felt judged? How did it affect you? How did it affect being vulnerable, being courageous? Was there anything you learned from this experience? Authenticity is kind of the antidote for fear. When I embrace my truest self, I find the courage to be vulnerable. For me, painting vibrant colors, this yellow symbolizes freedom that comes with authenticity. What does it look like for you to be authentic? How can you cultivate more authenticity in your interactions, being more intentional? I often find that I want to be composed, and that's a part of perfectionism, hindering my ability to be vulnerable. I strive to be flawless, maybe, but really the true connection to myself comes from embracing my imperfections. This painting is imperfect in many ways, but it's still beautiful. How does perfectionism show up in your life? What steps can you take to embrace your imperfections? I love this idea of building courage, and that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite it. The painting dots were just me cultivating courage. It represents all the courage I need to face my fears. I think of a moment when you felt courageous or you showed courage. How did it feel? Can you apply that same courage to being vulnerable? I find that I have a hard time. I really want to be vulnerable. I know that being open and sharing your thoughts and feelings and letting it bubble to the surface has an immense power of healing. And it really connects us deeply with others and ourselves. I continue to paint elements of peace from embracing vulnerability, that it brings me abundance, it provides me lessons. It also takes time and effort. How has vulnerability helped you heal in the past? Can you use vulnerability to foster deeper connections in your life? I think for me, as I went through this painting and I let it grow, I realized that I'm wanting more capacity to hold those vulnerable moments. That there were times when I was really sad and I was really lost and I didn't have any hope. And it's weird because I don't want to admit it to anybody. I want it to be a deep connection within myself, something that I almost hide away from others. There's a darkness to it, but it's not bad. All emotions are welcome. I welcome it in, I nurture it. I tell them, I accept you. It's been quite a journey. I still find that there's a bit of a block to be really, really honest and truthful about my stories to others. I find it really hard to share with strangers. It's just me trying to protect little me. It's beautiful. It's powerful. It's a reminder that we're human. If you enjoyed reflecting on any of these prompts, whether it comes out in a journal or in a painting, I hope you find the strength to embrace your truest self and share it with the world. I appreciate you. I see you. I feel you. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. And remember, vulnerability is a gift, both to yourself and those around you. Thanks for listening.